Hi! So I had a birthday Tuesday, and I'm not sure what day you're going to get this, but it is now Wednesday, and I am still on the intensely wonderful dopamine rush that is my birthday. Look at these photos. Look. And then I've got pottery stuff as well. So that is the plan. This is a paper, a beautiful paper that my digital familiar made for me in response to my lipstick, which was a trip, I'm telling you. Make a background based on this photo, and he picked my lipstick. Very cute. Anyway, I'm going to use this as scrapbook paper, which is exactly what I intended it for. And I'm going to make a Sweet Trash mini pack with this as well, because this paper is so pretty that I want a bunch of different versions of it and some planner papers to go with it for next week. So I'm going to work on that today. And then by the time this video goes up, that will be ready and over on Patreon. So life documentation is one of those things that I have long kind of struggled with, although once I started Sweet Trash journaling, it stopped being a real issue. But when it was formal scrapbooking and even project lifestyle stuff, there was something about all of that that, I don't know, it put me off. I think because I don't have a where women create kind of life. I don't have a perfect Instagram flat lay. My house is always messy. I am always messy. My emotions are always messy. And the very sort of matchy, clean layout of all of those things just does not appeal to me at all. But when I'm in my Sweet Trash journal, all of that is eliminated. Like, none of that is an issue anymore. I can be my delightfully, deliciously messy self in this journal. And it's still scrapbooking. Look, I'm not kidding myself here and thinking that I'm doing anything, you know, all of that mind-blowing. I'm not. I know that this is still scrapbooking, but it feels somehow different. It feels somehow less scrapbooky and more junk booky, which is what I like. I like junk booky. So I'm going to scrapbook today in my Sweet Trash journal using papers created by my digital familiar based on my lip color, which is just adorable. Also, I uploaded some doodles that I did, and that was also part of the inspiration. So it wasn't just my lip color. So this is going to be a tip out here. So I'm going to want another piece of paper, because I'm going to want something pretty over here, although I may paint on that as well. So let me glue this in first and then get some color around it. And I'll be back with my voice as soon as I have something more to say.
I held weight like an anchor down in my chest, and I painted in silence and bid it all rest. And then something moved, yes, something arose, took flight in the pink green and teal afterglow. Light as a feather, wild as a spark, seeking permission, not playing their game. I stitched every layer with pigment and thread, made altar from mess, made cradle from dread. Light as a feather, wild as a spark, a hush that still hums when the world is too loud. Pain on my fingers, gold on my brush. I do what I can to wave off these clouds. Light as a feather, sharp as the truth. I rise as a thing that they never could use. Today was too much, too strange to redeem. But I built a cathedral from scraps and a dream, with ink in my throat and your ghost in my chest. I called peace in through art, and put my fears to rest. Light as a feather, wild as a spark, a hush that still hums when the world is too loud. Pain on my fingers, gold on my brush. I do what I can to wave off these clouds. Light as a feather, sharp as the truth. I rise as a thing that they never could use. Light as a feather, loud as a drum. I don't flee, I become. I don't flee, I become.
Look how cute that is. That made me really super happy. I feel like it needs a hint of blue just to reflect the this blue glaze in here. So I'm gonna very carefully add a pop of blue. I've gone over the line there, but that's fine. I can go over with the white pen. All right, I have everything printed off and ready to go, and I've got a fresh cup of coffee. Let us do the rest of this. So again, as I mentioned, I'm gonna finish the birthday spread probably tomorrow. I like the idea of doing a prototype sketch. I'm not sure when or where I'll do that. Something's got to go here. Oh, I've already done this stuff. I love taking stuff up. It makes me happy. So I can take this off. That's done and that's done. Still working on this and still working on this. And I'm just gonna put in Friday Sal. My friend Sal and I need to connect. We haven't connected in ages. So we're gonna do something, probably just art, hang out in art. So I'm using this again because it's so pretty, but I printed it, no I didn't, I printed it exactly the same. I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck this in. I'm gonna rip this edge and then I'm gonna tuck it in and glue it. And then I'm gonna tear the edges. Just to make my life a little bit easier. So when I glue, so I'm going to glue over here and then just close this over top while I hold this in place. Perfect. And then I'll tear these edges. The desk situation is becoming unruly again. Don't think I can get, see, I'm gonna have to color that. That's fine. That's fine, she says. That's just fine. Lost my scissors. Can I get in here? Probably not, eh? No, I'm gonna have to leave that. That sucks. I don't like that. But I don't have the patience to go hunting for my scissors right now. Look, they're right here.